left-hand corner. We are live. How are you? Happy Friday, everyone.
Hello, happy Friday, as I like to
Yay.
say.
Today we have Amber Boyd with us, and she's going to share a little bit about what she does because she does it differently, right?
Yes.
And you're from Texas. How long have you been in the business?
So I have been a realtor my entire adult life since I was 20 years old.
Nice.
And I'm 32, so 12 years. And I'm going strong, and I love it just as much today as I did whenever I was 19, almost about to get my license and getting started at 20. So, yes, ma'am.
Wow. How did you, are your family in the business? Your parents or anyone? How were you
Well,
influenced so
So,
young?
well, none of my family have ever been in real estate. I'm kind of what I like to think of a first generation entrepreneur, other than the fact that I'm sure I had grandparents that did things in their previous lives as well. But I worked at Dairy Queen, believe it or not, selling ice cream cones, and then I got into apartment leasing. And the lady that I worked with, she and I worked with each other at the Dillard Shoe Department, which was my second job. And she's like, I think you would be really good at apartment leasing. And so I found a temp agency who did that specific task and got into the industry, and then realized that I really enjoyed helping people. And
Yeah.
so I can't pinpoint the exact moment that said, Amber, I think you should get your real estate license. It just kind of happened naturally and organically because I knew that I wanted to be a business owner by the time I turned 25. And so I knew if I started in real estate, then I could become my own broker at by 25. And that is exactly what I did.
Nice. I love it.
So, yes, just I guess naturally driven. And I
Mhm.
used to be in drill team, and believe it or not, I was very shy. And I was even in basketball in like the seventh grade, and I was crying because I was double dribbling, and the coach was yelling at me, and she's like, "Get off the court if you're gonna cry!" And I'm like, "What's happening?" Which is crazy. But then getting into drill team, I became an officer, and that required me to step out of my comfort zone and to help others and lead others. And that's where I really found my passion for helping others around me.
Mhm.
And one of the skill sets that I obtained during that time was the fact that the drill team director would give me the people who needed the most work, who maybe they weren't great at dancing, or they couldn't
Mhm.
choreograph, or maybe they just couldn't keep up with the pace. And every time by the end of the year, I would always have the squad that would win most improved. And I loved that because I got to
Mhm.
impact people's lives who others maybe pushed aside or said, "Oh, you're not that good. I want someone who can really win some things." And I
Mhm.
was able to impact their lives in a positive way. And so I take that and I harvest it and I put it into my real estate business. And that's one reason why I've chose to do real estate, and becoming a broker has really been important to me because that gives me the ability to really pour into those others around me
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
professional way.
And we had talked about this a little bit in private messenger, raising, the whole team at once,
Yes.
with some challenges or some motivational things. And
Yeah.
I think that's the best way you could go.
Thank you. Yes.
Good, good, good. Okay, so you started young. You're in Texas. Go
Yes,
ahead and tell
ma'am.
us what you got going on today because you are on fire, right?
Thank you. Yes, so I am in the big city of Farmersville, Texas, USA. We are northeast of Dallas. And one of the things that I do differently than other realtors is the fact that we really focus and have a heart for the renters.
Mhm.
Most agents will say, "Oh, Amber, that's so cute. You do apartment locating. That's just not worth my time." Fast
Mhm.
forward to now, I've only started using a CRM 2 years ago, and if I would have started 10 years ago or 12 years ago, I would have had over 100,000 contacts because
I'm
of what I
sure.
do. Right now, I have 20,000 contacts just from using it. That's 10,000 of them are apartment leasing managers who I can connect with on a weekly basis to generate leads, and then I have about 6 to 8,000 clients that I've reached out to previously. So my what I'm doing differently is I have a database and an audience that I can actually drip email to. I could video text. I can convert all these people, whether they're going to rent right now or purchase. They start out as renters and we educate
Mhm.
them, we get them to purchase, then they become sellers, they might come a renter again, then they're buying again, and we just want to do life with these people.
Mhm.
So that's why we start from the very bottom and we help build them up in their ability to purchase. So
Mhm.
so it's really important that we don't leave any man behind. So
That's right.
so it's a huge business that a lot of agents don't think twice about, and it's
Right.
so it's kind of my mission to educate the realtors and say, hey, do you even know what apartment locating is and how it can benefit your business, and
Mhm.
help them to build a sustainable, duplicatable, and replicatable business structure
Nice.
in between
Okay,
the
so
sales.
tell us about it. What is that? What is that you do?
Okay.
Because
So
you nailed me, right? You nailed me. I do like, I do property management.
okay.
You know, I don't do it on a large scale because yeah, I do lots of things.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely.
but I do property management. I have a small portfolio, and I do Airbnb and short term. So,
Okay.
so I'm a firm believer. Renters are buyers,
Yes,
buyers are sellers, sellers are buyers. Everybody needs a roof over their head.
that's
So,
so true.
but I don't show other rentals.
Well, let me
I
just
do
blow.
only
I'm
my
gonna.
own.
Okay.
So
I'm
tell me
going.
what you do as a part of apartment locating. That is
Okay.
different, I think.
Yes, it is. I'm about to blow your mind, okay? So make sure everyone who's watching sit down. Okay, so whenever you think of renters in the real estate market, you have to physically show the rental houses, just like if you
Mhm.
were buying or selling.
Right.
Um, Apartment locating is literally all done from the computer.
Oh, I like
So
that.
you don't have to show anything. So in theory, you do your lead generation, you get a phone call and they say, hey, Miss Amber, I'm looking for an apartment. I need 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I need to be in Dallas, and I have a broken lease from 2 years ago.
Hmm.
We have a database very similar to the MLS, and you put in the criteria, you send the information to the client, and then
Hmm.
you call and check on them every week. Call, text, email, rinse, lather, repeat. How can I help you with your search? Did you want to schedule a tour? Did you need me to make any revisions to your search? And then, as long as that client puts your name down as the person who referred them, then you get paid typically about half a month's rent per person that
Wow.
leases.
Wow.
And so I love it because I can help hundreds of people at a time, where whether there's no way that I can help that many buyers or sellers at a time. So it's a great way to leverage your time and help the maximum amount of people in the minimal amount of time.
I love this concept. Now, does this allow you to cover your whole state?
Yes, it does.
You're everywhere, right?
So
Because
yes, ma'am.
you're
So
not physically showing property, right?
correct, as long as you have the database. So in 2020, I decided to take my concept and duplicate it. So I started in Dallas. We've
Mhm.
opened in Houston, San Antonio, and in Austin, and
Wow.
El Paso just recently, because you can literally do this in any market. So you could drop me in any city in Texas, and I could probably help you locate an apartment just based off of the amazing skills that we have on just Google and the database. It's simply using your context clues, finding out what they want to stay close to, and then finding it,
Okay.
which I love. And just so we can cover the entire state. Yes.
That is awesome. So you are looking for agents anywhere in Texas who,
That is correct.
who want to
But
join you, right?
yes, absolutely. And I'm looking for agents who not only want to, of course, work. That's hard to find these days as a broker. Agents are like,
Mhm.
okay, I knocked on one door. I made 10 calls. Nothing happened. I'm going to go work at Brookshire's. I'm going to go work, work at Sonic. I'm like, okay, you have to be resilient,
Yeah.
relentless. But it's so rewarding being able to impact these lives of people. But it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure you probably have thought about this. I hope every brokerage owner is. How do you feel like you're going to navigate the near future, with the recession? Have
Hmm.
you seen your business impacted at all? Either way, good or bad,
Yes.
because I feel
Okay.
like there's opportunity in every market, you know,
Yes. So
absolutely.
rare.
And some are going to thrive, as they've changed and pivoted, and some are going to stay stagnant because they're in denial.
Yes, absolutely. That is a great question. I like to think of apartment locating as a recession-proof business,
Mhm.
or business model, because
Sounds like it.
literally everybody has to go somewhere. And if they can't purchase, they're not going to go live under a bridge. Well, 99% of people won't do that, do
Right.
that. So as long as I actually took a class yesterday, and one of the things that was pretty revolutionary, it's very simple, but still really spoke to me is as an agent or a broker, build a wall around your database.
Mhm.
If you are not nurturing those people, then somebody else is.
Mhm.
And that was like just mind blowing to me. And so today, like my goal is to literally navigate through I have 19,000 contacts that I have to organize, which sounds ridiculous, but I know if I don't, that I have so much bleed out and these clients that are texting me, and if I don't respond directly to them, then they're going to go somewhere else. So my
Mhm.
goal, in order to be able to sustain through a recession, is to dig deep in relationships with people that I've already
Mhm.
helped before. And
Mhm.
so, in theory, lead generation is really important, but
Mhm.
also nurturing your current clients and past clients is just as important.
Mhm. So what are your three pillars for nurturing?
So the three pillars for me as far as the nurturing is going to be really important. One of those things would be video texting,
Okay.
because people, you might get a text message and you're like, "Who is this?" and you just,
Mhm.
ignore it. But if you're nurturing your leads with video, then they can start to build a trust with you. They see your face, they see you're a real person.
Mhm.
Even doing something as simple as making them laugh,
Mhm.
that really helps kind of just break the ice.
Mhm.
So that is one thing. The number two thing that I want to implement as well is doing a client appreciation event every month. Like let's just say maybe a happy hour or something,
Mhm.
and that because that gives you a reason to reach out to your database other than, hey, do you want to buy or sell?
Okay.
So that's the next thing that I want to implement as far as helping to navigate my database and build something even stronger by being able to get in front of these people.
Mhm.
And then the third one is just kind of the long-term follow-up game, like having drip campaigns in place that says, hey, every quarter or every so often I text or either email them or text them. Just
Mhm.
follow up in general. That's really the biggest part of what we do. And most agents don't take the time to really nurture their leads. They might call or text them one or two or three times, but if you don't have some sort of system to keep all your contacts together, then you're losing out on a ton of business because it's not the client's job to remember you. It's your job to make sure they remember you by staying in front of them. So
Mhm.
having an organized, clean CRM or database would probably be my number three thing that kind of
Mhm.
all comes together
Mhm.
that helps.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. Definitely. Um, do you put out any, like, what tool stack do you use? You've got a huge database. Are you making phone calls to these people, or only when they're hot? I suspect when they find a place, then they're there for a year. Do you nurture them into buyers during that time that they've got placed in their apartment for the year, and then you nurture them maybe to buyers at that point? So do you have I heard you say it's your goal to get organized. So you're still working on scrubbing the database?
Yes. So
Yeah.
I've had, because like I'm always generating, I generate on average about 250 new leads a month just from the
Yeah.
apartment locating side. So I
Yeah.
have a ton coming in. So that's why it's been difficult to scrub through the people, because what I've done in the past is I lease them an apartment, I move on to the next person, I just keep on going
Mhm.
because I had no time to stop. But
Yeah.
now I'm trying to pump the brakes a little bit and say, okay, I
Yeah.
really need to structure and
Yeah.
have, categories so I know these people that I have leased or I've sold a house to, and then
Mhm.
keep like category A, then B are people that maybe I've spoken to, and then C and D are people that never responded. So that's my goal today, is to organize that in a way that I can, moving forward, have categories to put them in. So that way I know exactly I can plug and play. Right now I'm in the thick of it, just trying to organize what I have. And so any advice that I can give to people is start your database as soon as possible. Don't build it with 20,000 people and expect to fix it in a day. I'm gonna,
Right.
but that's my goal.
Right.
We serve a big God, so
Right.
it's just a matter of keeping organized and building a wall around your database, whether you're renting or dealing with rentals or buyers or sellers,
Yeah.
whatever it might be. um, that would be my biggest advice, is just start today with something and build that database so you have a duplicatable business during a recession.
Yes. Now, how many agents do you have with under your firm now?
So I have 45 agents that work with
Really?
us across the Texas area, and
Okay.
so I love that.
Yeah. Now, do they make phone calls on the database? How do you cover such a large database, or
I
plan
so
to cover? Let's
yeah,
say.
so yes, great. So I implemented an inside sales agent position
Mhm.
about a month ago. So I
Good.
have four agents, or four individuals who have either had their real estate license in the past or are working toward it. And
Hmm.
so what we do is because they have their eyes on my database, and so any texts that come in, they assign the lead to themselves and they keep an eyeball on it for me. So that way I have extra hands and eyes on that, and then they're helping to nurture those leads, and then whenever they become a hot lead, they put them in my to-do folder, and I'm able to nurture or take care of those hot leads every day. So in theory, I
Good.
clear out that to-do box every day, and they're always checking for messages because there's so many. And
Mhm.
it's not that we have a ton every single day, but I'm a little relentless, and I like to send out mass text messages every so often to 3,000 people, and they're like, Amber, stop, I can't catch up to the ones I already have. So so I need to probably grow my inside sales agents team. But in order to be able to do that, I have to organize my database first. So I'm kind of a hot mess express, just like everybody else.
Hey, it's okay
But
to be a hot mess as long as you know you're a hot mess,
yes, and for
right?
me, one of the biggest things for me that I find is to help me to be successful is to not overthink the process. I
Yeah,
take sometimes imperfect action is better than no action or a perfect
absolutely.
plan. So that's kind of been my motto lately is, just take action even if it's imperfect, but you're making steps in the right direction. So that's why
Yes,
I'm just like, all right, I got this database. Now I got to do something. So instead
yeah.
of just trying to overthink it, I'm just going through and starting somewhere and just doing what I can. So
You're on the
it's
right
kind
track.
of,
You're on the right track. That's for
yes, I'm
sure. I
certainly
mean,
human.
that's the that's the it's necessity that is born the best ideas. You know,
Yes.
I wouldn't even begin probably to try to attempt to sort and scrub such a huge database. That seems like such a daunting task. And
Right.
and mine was never that large, maybe about 3 to 5,000. I'm in Mayberry, USA, though. I assume you're in a little bit more metropolitan area,
Yes, well, I'm actually in a very small town, but because
but
we
you're
can
covering the
cover,
whole
yeah,
state.
the
So that's
area, yeah.
excellent. Yeah, that is great. Um,
And yeah,
and that's how I started, just putting out a single email to my database once a week, as opposed to trying to sort them and scrub them. They're all sorted and they're scrubbed in our database now. We only carry about 1,000 in our database now. But so it's a fine-tuned machine. That
yes.
that has been that's been one of my sticklers, is my CRM. And it's been about 9 years since we've been really on par with our CRM, and it makes a big difference in your business when that's
Yes.
reined in and under control, and
Yes.
every person has a follow-up task assigned to it, and
Most
it falls
certainly.
out.
Yes.
So
That's so
that's a
true.
huge undertaking.
We'll have to
Just,
do a
yeah.
follow-up call whenever I get it done and tell you guys that I've executed that plan. So that's
Yes.
so
Yeah,
help keep me accountable, okay?
that's a huge undertaking. I remember when I was scrubbing my database, I would time myself how long it took me to do. Put the task in, schedule the search, put the notes in, whatever I was doing. I timed myself exactly how long it took me, and I was like a machine getting through, because I had about 2 or 3 thousand that I had to scrub, and it was daunting.
Yes.
And you say you just got your CRM 2 years ago, and you're right. Had you had it the whole 12 years, oh my God, right? How awesome that would have been.
Oh my
But
gosh, right?
yes, yes, when you think in terms of that. Um, but uh, I think moving forward, you're going to see such an explosion in your business with that, when that
Yes.
CRM is under control.
That's
You
true.
know,
And then, yeah, you're right. And so whenever, as you
you
guys know,
will.
the interest rates are so high right now that
Mhm.
whenever things, level out, I'm going to have an audience of, I don't know, 10,000 people that says,
Yeah,
hey, things are changing. Interest rates are now more affordable than ever. Let's get you into a home.
right.
And so I'm excited to be able to help those people, but and just do life with them. And
Mhm.
with having a database, as you know, you can poke it at any moment and something will
Yeah,
pop out of it.
yeah, you're done. You only have to really serve your database. That's
Yes.
all you really need to do at that point. You're on autopilot, just serving your own database. Where does your new business come from? Does it come in organically? Where does your new business come from? Do you market your
Hmm.
services?
That's yes. So on the apartment locating side of it, I have an incredible support system when it comes to. I have been able to obtain a list of, let's just say, 9,000 apartment complexes in the entire state of Texas. And
Right.
what I do is I send an email with a video of myself every single week to those communities, and I say, hey, when somebody comes in that you can't help, whether you have no availability or maybe their criteria does not match yours, send them our way. I can tell you that last week I sent out a message and I said, hey, I've challenged my agents to get 5 referrals today, and I do not like to lose. So I need your help. And I got 30 referrals that day from apartment complexes who had never sent me one person ever before. And so I was like, just because I asked for help, and I did the
Yeah.
same thing to my clients. And so those I get my business is all referral based. The only other thing we do is post ads on Craigslist just to help kind of sweeten the pot a little bit. But we get referrals from apartment complexes all over the state. So that's
Uh,
been our biggest success story, is being able to reach, because before I did that, I would visit about 75 apartment complexes every single month with
mhm,
my I would go, I'd take them snacks and my business cards, and I built a sustainable business for that for 10 years doing that. And
mhm.
then we got the list of about 2,000 apartments, and I started that and I did that for a year, and then I thought bigger, and so I asked the lady that was able to get me those contacts, and I said, "What? How amazing would it be to have the other areas?" And so that's whenever, just about 3 weeks ago, that I start connecting with all 9,000 of them, and it's been a huge blessing because now I can generate leads from my agents that are in San Antonio or Houston or Austin. Or if someone says, "Hey, yes, please bring me some of your cards," I can say, "Hey, agent in San Antonio, take some of your business cards. Help these people." And so it's all organically, which I love, that I don't have to pay anything for these leads because I'm just nurturing and building relationships.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that at least 2 or 3 of the people had said, "Hey, I have never ever seen a locator or realtor send me a video like this. It shows me that you're a real person and I can see who I'm working with."
Mhm,
And I loved that. And so,
mhm.
like, and even some would say, "I've never had a realtor or locator reach out to me like you do, as consistently as you do." They have no idea that's set up on auto email, but I love it. And every time
Oh
they
yeah.
respond, I reply back to them individually for each one of them, and I
That,
make them feel as if, because I'm
mhm,
I'm very intrigued in what they're doing. So I don't make it about me. I say, "Hey, do you have any specific units that you have trouble leasing?" Because every property will have one unit that they've leased 7 times that they've either canceled or got declined or
mhm.
something has happened and they've been sitting vacant for 90 plus days. So I say, "Do you have any of those troubled units? What can I do to help you with that? Can I post it on Craigslist? Can I use my social media?" And they're like, "Oh my gosh, thank you. If I don't lease this unit this weekend, I'm going to have to start working Sundays again. And I hate that," is what the leasing agents will say. So you're trying to be a problem solver for
Right.
those leasing agents. And,
Right.
and so that's one of the big things that I do, is just make it about them. And then I send out an email every week saying, "Hey, I'm getting ready to do my follow-up calls. So what do you have available?" So I can make sure I send my clients your way. And every single time it's just about them. And then, oh, by the way, when someone comes in, if you can't help them, let me know. But I make it all about the coming with contribution and making it a heart of service
Uh-huh.
versus asking them to send me referrals. And
Yeah.
that's worked the best.
That's great. That's great. You got somebody that's asking what CRM you use and how
That's a
often you touch your database.
That's a great question. So I use Lion Desk. I've seen so many different ones, but that seems to be the one that works the best. And
Mhm.
because I've had it for 2 years and I have such a giant list in there, there's no way I could change even if I found a better one. So
No, you
I'm
can't.
lying down for
No,
life.
that's detrimental. That's probably the most detrimental thing you can do in your business is to have to
Yes.
change CRMs.
Oh no.
It
And especially because
never transfers over all the data
nothing.
correctly, and then you start
Yes.
scrubbing again. You have to scrub
No.
again.
Yes. So pick a database that you love,
Yes.
stick with it. And so my weekly clients, so I call, text, and I email them every single week. And then my future business, like that one, that's where scrubbing them and having them in categories is going to help. So if you
Mhm.
know that you have specific leads that you're currently working and you're going to call and text them every week. Maybe you have people that are kind of on the fence, but they're not ready. Maybe you check in with them every month. And then you have people that maybe you've contacted a million times, but they've never responded. So you have them on like a D list that you just email and text. And then once they respond, then you move them to a more hot list, kind of
Mhm.
like a prospecting dead, not necessarily a dead list, but as far as, people that maybe you haven't actually connected with, but people you're still trying to nurture to resurrect those leads into something that can turn into a deal for you.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so I would say at least definitely. Oh gosh, someone says I had to change my CRM. It's a nightmare. I thought about it, but then when I saw, I was like, oh no, time out, keeping it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you'll see
Definitely.
so many times in different groups, like lab coat agents or just different big groups. You'll say, "Who's got the best CRM?" And it's just kind of. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a great question, but and most agents get overwhelmed with the fact of even trying to start with one that they never do. But
Yes.
this, I would say your database is going to be your lifeline, and do it like your life depends on it right now because it
It
does.
does, doesn't it?
Yes,
It does. It'll be the deciding factor in the next 5 years. You
you're
know,
exactly
you know,
right. It's
it's
gonna.
all about the data. That's what I preach every day. It's all about the data. He who controls the data controls the gold.
You're exactly right. Yes, you're exactly that. It's crazy, but it's true. And the agents that don't listen now, or they think, "Oh, I'm too busy to start my database," they're gonna just find themselves in a corner, backed into a corner, and they can't come out of it. So it's important. It's vital. It's literally your lifeline. So I just hopefully I can encourage somebody today that's been on the fence about starting a CRM. If you don't have the money to do one, find something. Start with a spreadsheet and
Mhm.
then put whatever you have to do. And even if you think you don't have many contacts, I can tell you I just had an agent join this week, and before we're doing any income producing activities, I'm making him sit down, and he's been here every single day this week and taking his contacts from his phone, taking other realtors that he's worked with, and he says, Amber, I had no idea I have over 300 contacts just on this spreadsheet, and I didn't even realize that I knew that many people.
Right.
And then so what we're doing today actually is we're going to record a video for him, and then we're going to text it out to his entire database of people that he's put on his spreadsheet, and then record a video and email it to everybody, and then set up his drip campaign so
Yes.
that way he can start nurturing the people that he that know, like, and trust him first,
Mhm.
and then work on advertising to try to gain new clients. But
Mhm.
we're trying to start with a really really good, strong, and firm foundation
Mhm.
so that way he can build something that's sustainable.
That's
And
excellent. That's an excellent plan.
so I'm excited to see how that pans out for him. And
Yeah.
as a broker, I've, there's always, you're always thinking in the back of your mind, like, what is your exit plan? Whenever you decide, you know what, I'm either old enough that I don't want to do this anymore, or I need to sell my business.
Mhm.
The people that purchase brokerages are people that are purchasing systems and solid
Yeah.
plans and books of business and data. So if you don't have all of your data in one place, then you can never sell your company because no one's going to just buy a bunch of sticky notes, you
No,
know?
they're not.
So you have to
That's
have
so
some.
true.
It's
That
true.
is the
I'm
truth.
talking to someone on this call has a bunch of sticky notes on their desk, and pick up pick
That's
up
the
those
truth.
sticky notes.
That's the truth.
If that's you, put it in the comments.
That is so funny. I remember sticky notes.
Yes.
Back in the day, yes,
That's true. I got some in my
I can't
desk.
even fathom not having a CRM, you know?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
It's just incredible to me, some agents that, you know, have never ventured that far. And you're right. It's because it's an overwhelming task. It's a
Yes.
daunting task getting started with a CRM. That's not a lie. You know,
No.
that is not a
Yeah.
lie. You know, and I've been using, even though I've been using my CRM for probably 10 years or more, you know, this year we started doing some short term property management. So, you know, I'm investing in a platform to manage short term rentals. Oh my God, the technology is just,
Yes.
it's daunting. It's overwhelming to learn the new platform all by yourself. You know,
Yes.
it's nice
Yes.
if you have somebody maybe that can show you the ropes. That's all I need. Just show me the ropes. You know, spend
Yes.
spend an hour with me clicking on stuff and show me the
Yeah,
ropes. And but you
that's
don't get
true.
that. You don't get
No.
that.
Yes, and for me, because I have such a unique business model from the apartment locating side that I have yet to find, and I know there has to be somebody out there that's doing it better than me because I'm not perfect, but I can't find that person, and I need a mentor who says, Amber, oh my gosh, let me just show you. You have this many contacts, you put these here, you put these here, you put those there, you do this, you do that. That would be a perfect world, but as you said, it doesn't happen that way. So we
No,
have to figure it out
yeah,
by
yeah,
yourself
I
sometimes.
think you got to find your own way sometimes. You
Yep,
know, I
that's
often
true.
take what I have invested in courses and coaches and the whole nine yards. And every time I'm not going to say I'm not coachable, but I scrutinize what they're telling me and I regurgitate it and spit it out in a way that works for me. You know, that's how I can
Exactly.
explain it. You know,
Exactly.
I was like, okay, I'm going to take that and I'm going to twist it. You know, I'm going to do it this
Yeah.
way and I'm going to accomplish the same results. You know,
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's my personality type. I'm going to find the absolute easiest way to do a task
Exactly.
and be consistent with it because that's the key is to be consistent with it. Now when
See,
you say you're going to text out, do you use a mass text or is that part of your CRM when
so
you
it,
say
it
you text blast?
mhm. So it's going to be part of Lion Desk. So
Oh,
I'm
good.
able to
Okay.
text 150 people at a time with
Nice.
a maximum of 3,000 people a day.
Okay.
So you might create a video that says, let's see, the one recently that I did, I was like, hey, I've challenged my agents, even though I sent out a message, but not one of my agents participated in this challenge, but me. But I did it, and I got 30 referrals, and that's all that matters.
That's
So
all
I
that
said,
matters. You set the pace.
so I'm leading by example. So I said, hey, I really need your help. And so whatever it might be, you don't have to send that out. You can say, hey, it's the first day of fall, whatever it might be. It doesn't even
Right.
matter as long as you're doing it. So
Right.
that's you can create that audience or create the video and then you can send it to 150 people at a time. And I love that because then you can really just you can see who is engaging with you and you
Mhm.
can nurture those specific people. So it's just a way to scrub and do life with thousands of people at a time more efficiently.
Yeah, you have to. You have to expand to a very large cold audience. And
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of agents miss the mark is, you know, they they really think that they can just I don't know, not not expand their audience. I don't know what.
That's true. And you may say,
It's
I don't know why
heartbreaking
I'm
to
not.
see a lot of agents in these larger groups when they're posting that they're giving up. That's heartbreaking
Yes.
when you
Yes.
know there's a better way, you know, when you know that when you get your broker license, is that not that is just a door opener. That is giving yourself a promotion when you get your broker license. You can go in so many different directions and create
Yeah.
whatever you want to create, can't you?
Yes, yes, absolutely right. There's no wrong or right
Yeah,
way to do real estate. You
right.
find what you're passionate about and you just
101
attack
ways to
it.
make money in real estate.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even for me personally, like, so just to give you an idea of the scale that how many apartments that we lease,
Mhm,
last year with me operating the brokerage of course, full time. So I leased personally 99 apartments last year just by myself.
mhm,
And so it's incredible that you can pick any type of real estate. And even as a broker, if you're still trying to produce like I am, you can find what works. And I like the locating because I can still keep an eye on my agents and I'm at my desk and it's I love it. It's a great way for me to be able to sustain my family and I've
mhm,
done it for my entire adult life and I couldn't see my life any other way.
Hmm.
It's just incredible.
Okay, so if someone wanted to get started outside of the state of Texas, of course,
Yes, yeah,
where would they begin doing
perfect.
something like this?
So you can be an apartment locator with any brokerage. The only requirement is to have your real estate license. So
Okay,
there's two databases that you can find the apartment. It's basically MLS for the apartment. So two databases. One is called smartlocating.com
okay,
and Apartment Locating Network, or ALN. So this is a database where all the apartments that pay apartment locators will be in. And so let's say you are a brand new agent and you want to start doing apartment locating. You can get your database. You can create a simple post and make it on Craigslist that says, "Hey, I'm a local realtor. I would love to be an opportunity to help you." And what we've done, and I can tell you that's worked beautifully, is each of our agents, we have a website and we use Playster, which is the provider for our website. We've created a landing page that says, "We're happy to help you. What are you looking for in the new place?" And it has how many bedrooms, bathrooms, price range, all of those things.
okay.
And what we do is we created a QR code that links the people to our website questionnaire, and
Hmm.
it says, "Hey, we help with rent, broken leases, evictions, criminal history. Are you having a hard time finding an apartment? Let me help you." And you take that graphic with a QR code and then you post it on Craigslist as many places as you can. It doesn't cost you a single dime to do any of that.
Okay,
So that's what I would do. And even if you don't have a website, you don't have to have that. If you just create a simple post and post it on Craigslist 10 different ads a day, and keep it going, you'll get leads from that. You don't even have to pay for advertising. So um, I would say get your database for the apartments, ALN or Smart Locating, and post ads on Craigslist. Like those are the two simplest ways to get started. And then you can, once you're doing that, then you can build a referral basis, by visiting apartments and giving them your cards, whatever it might be. But you can definitely do it in any market. So it's
so then
very simple.
you started building the relationships with the property managers, and you're
Yes,
looking for people they have rejected.
that's correct.
Is that what you're looking
Um,
for? Okay, so
so we
because
want,
one apartment will accept one and one won't.
that's
So
correct.
there's
So
different variations. So do you get to
yeah,
learn all of their requirements for each
yes,
apartment? Do you have a cheat sheet list or something you keep
uh-huh,
on each apartment, what their requirements are?
yes. So in smart
Place people?
locating,
Hmm.
yes. So in smart locating, it tells you must accept broken lease, must accept eviction. So when you do your search, you select what issue they have, and then you find the properties that will work with that specific situation. So
Okay,
it's very easy to help navigate through that. And
okay,
we're basically matchmakers. So you say, "Okay, I'm looking for a 3 bedroom, but I have an eviction," and they say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't help you with that, but let me tell you, I have a great person who it doesn't cost you a single dime to use her as your locator. Let me get you in touch with her, and she can help you find the right place without having to drive around or make a bunch of phone calls." And
nice.
so we're literally matchmakers. Like we don't sell anything. We just say, "Okay, you need this, let me help you find it." And we just kind of guide them along their way. And that's literally all that we do, match make all day.
Okay, okay.
There's not,
So and
yeah.
you earn a referral if they're placed. I
Yeah,
mean,
so
where
we
is
get,
that where you
uh-huh.
earning your income?
Yeah,
Okay,
so in the smart locating, it's going to tell you how much commission the apartment complex pays. So
okay,
you can select the properties based off of that if you want, and say, "Okay, some places will pay a whole month's rent commission." So
okay,
you determine which places you want to send the clients to, and then as long as their name is listed, or I'm sorry, as long as your name is listed as the referral source on the application, then the property will pay you a commission.
okay. Good.
One thing to know about locating is it takes about 30 to 60 days to get paid.
Yeah,
Sometimes a year later, here comes your check.
yeah,
And so that can be kind of be a deterrent for
yeah.
agents who want to get in the business. But if you can get past through that, then you can lease apartments every week and you're having checks come in every single
Mhm.
week. You can
Yeah,
consistently make $10,000 a month from apartment locating easily and
sure.
not even have to leave your desk. So, I mean,
Nice.
that was a
I love
no-brainer
that.
for me.
I love that. That's what I'm
Yeah,
about.
exactly. So it's a very lucrative business that a lot of
Uh-huh.
people don't think about. And like you said, it breaks your heart to see
Yeah.
people give up when they don't even know about these things. So it's like I
Yeah.
make it my personal goal in life is to educate agents who are maybe on their way out and say there is a better way. Let me show you.
Yes.
So
Yeah, there's 101 ways, but they get
yes,
stuck being a cog in someone else's wheel, just
yes,
showing property to buyers. And
that's true.
they never advance beyond that,
That's
or
so
in
true.
listing. So yeah, I love it. So if any Texas agents out there want to talk to Amber, reach out to her. She's looking. She's always recruiting.
Yes, for sure. And I just love to do life,
Anywhere in the state.
yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That is nice.
Thank you.
That is good. I love it.
And I
All
can tell
right.
you if I can tell you one more thing before we hop off is the fact that one of the important things about Core One Real Estate is the fact that we are faith based. So we
Good.
literally
Love
keep
that.
God at the center of everything that we do. One of the things, our motto is that our workplace is our mission field, and our mission field is our workplace.
Right.
So doing what we do, we're actually in a ministry of its own, and we get to impact people at the lowest points of their life sometimes. I have one guy that called yesterday. He was going to find a place, but then they picked somebody else. He's like, I have 4 kids. I got to tell them when they get home today from school that we have nowhere to go. And
Yeah.
so being able to do what we do, it's literally gives us the ability to show the love of Jesus to those around us in a way that doesn't seem so imposing because we're just doing what God has put us on this earth to do. And by
Mhm.
keeping him there at the center and being brave enough to acknowledge his presence in your business, I can
Mhm.
tell you that is why we've been able to be as successful as we have and be able to gain the contacts that we have. Because normally to get that 9,000 apartment list, you can't just get that from anybody. And so the fact that God
Mhm.
has provided the relationships to help propel us
Mhm.
forward in this business and to be able to impact lives around the entire state of Texas is mind blowing to me. So that's one reason why we are as successful as we are is because we honor him in all that we do.
I love it. I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Thank you.
And that is so true.
Yes. Thank you.
Good, good. Okay. Anything else? I love it.
I,
Thank you so much,
you're
Amber, for coming on and
welcome.
sharing. I love it.
Yes, you're welcome.
I hope some Texas agents hear your message and reach out to you.
Yes, I hope so too, for sure. And there, one little saying that I found yesterday that I thought was pretty cool is the fact that you educate yourself. It says educate to empower. So the more you educate yourself in your business, you're going to be able to empower more people to be able to purchase. So just make sure that you're always doing something to educate yourself so that you can empower the lives around you. So I'll leave you with that. I
Yep.
thought that was pretty great.
That is good stuff.
Yes, thank you. I wish I
All
could say
right.
I made it up, but I didn't.
Okay. Anything else?
No,
Parting
ma'am.
words? We're good,
Thank
huh?
you. Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
for the
much.
yes,
I
thank you for the
appreciate
opportunity to do this with you.
it. Okay. Bye
Thanks. Bye bye.
bye.